This man easily completed the overtaking maneuver and moved up to ninth place. The commentators were at a loss for words, amazed that he could overtake through 3 corners at such high speed. Even the coach was dumbfounded, sitting on his chair, shocked. But Jack didn't plan to stay in this position. Now, Jack's Toyota 86 tires were on fire, yet he still didn't slow down. His opponents thought it was absurd. This was Jack's first time in the finals, and he was only 19. They were about to enter a tight corner, and if Jack kept driving at this speed, he would surely fly off the track. At that moment, Jack accelerated. After being overtaken, the man in front realized what had just happened. He couldn't understand why his high-performance car was losing to a Toyota 86, but in reality, it was Jack's skills that were the most impressive. The Toyota 86 Jack was driving was the worst-performing car in the competition. If Jack had a better car, he would have crossed the finish line long ago and might have even broken the race record. All the drivers had now reached the final timing zone, and Jack had made it too. The hill sections were all over, and the race was nearly finished. Jack's tires were severely worn, and it would be very difficult for him to fight for a higher position now. Mike was in first place, and the system showed a 99% chance of him winning. He was confident he would win, and the commentators agreed. While another commentator was distracted, the battle for third place intensified. The GTR was overtaken in an instant, and now the 3 cars were fighting for third place. All 3 cars could easily reach 300 horsepower. After the straight section, the final section of the race remained, but after that, there were a few more corners. If they didn't slow down in those corners, they risked flying off the track. All the cars were now sparking from their tires as they tried to push harder. One car decided to accelerate more, but that was the wrong decision. He didn't have time to drift and went off the track. By the time he realized, the other 2 cars were already far ahead. Then, a Mercedes overtook him. Now Mike crossed the finish line, and first place was decided. The high-performance cars had secured their positions. Jack, however, was not done yet. Suddenly, a Porsche appeared behind Jack. The Porsche was very fast on the straight section, and Jack was overtaken. But that was part of Jack's strategy. While the Porsche was overtaking, Jack used his car's nose to bump into the Porsche's rear end, intending to maximize the slipstream effect. Although this could easily lead to a crash, Jack reduced the air resistance and prepared for the upcoming tight corners. The Porsche driver applied the brakes and chose a safer approach. But Jack overtook him while the Porsche was slowing down. The audience was stunned, and so was the Porsche driver. He couldn't understand why Jack had caught up with him. Usually, drivers would slow down before a tight corner, but Jack chose to accelerate. The Porsche driver thought Jack planned to drift without braking. Everyone was uncertain whether Jack would make it through the corner. By the time the Porsche driver realized what happened, he understood that it wasn't his car's fault, it was Jack, a true demon on the track. Jack's racing skills were simply incredible. In the end, Jack crossed the finish line in 9th place. His coach was extremely happy because 9th place still earned a prize of 8 million, and Jack's score was very high. The coach was set to receive 4 million, which would take him 5 years to earn from his regular job. At that moment, Jack noticed something was wrong. Mike, the person who had finished in first place, wasn't on the podium. One of the other drivers mentioned that Mike didn't care about the race, which piqued everyone's curiosity. Then, the Porsche driver, who had been overtaken by Jack, came over. He thought Jack was a worthy opponent and showed respect. Mary, seeing this, came over as well. She also thought Jack was amazing and went over to greet him. Suddenly, Mary felt that Jack was very handsome and couldn't help but hug him. Although the race had ended, only Jack knew the real reason he participated, to find his biological father. But now, he hadn't even seen his father's figure.